misconceptions about the chakras, about meditation, and really just this new age spirituality. And we're going to dive into what I find to be the best way to meditate and why it's so powerful for your life. Welcome to Reality Files, my friends. I'm Christian, coming to you guys with just a real talk. What's on my mind tonight? Hit that like button if you enjoy this message. First off, the chakras, okay? The ancient rishis, like the ancient yogis, understood the chakras as basically centers or wheels of pranic life force, of energy in the body. And they're intimately linked, right, to the nervous system, into the spine. And essentially they fuel and energize the nervous system. They energize the body. From the chakras, from the spine, we have all these different channels of energy as prana pumps and flows through our body, okay? As we age, as we have trauma, as our mind gets more tight and rigid and our body, gets stressed, these channels tend to close. They tend to get blocked up, right? The yin and yang of the body get out of whack. Therefore, the energy is not cycling correctly, right? The chakras are not in balance. But in the new age, if you go look at like a chakra chart or something, it's associating the chakras with all these different emotions and like this crystal and this color. And that's not talked about at all in the ancient books. That's not what it's about. The chakras are about the intimate connection between different source, basically hearts or chambers of energy, wheels of energy, and how they flow and pump through the body. It's a map. It's an ancient map used for deep breathing and esoteric alchemy, essentially, right? And I just look at this new age and it's all this airy fairy stuff and it's very abstract. But the fact of the matter is, my friends, healing happens simply through the breath and will, bringing yourself back into perfect alignment. This is what we're going to go in and talk about. So there's kind of like three types of meditation. People ask me, what's the best way to meditate? And I tell them every time, breath control, breath control, breath control, because it's going to lead to the subtle breath. The three types of meditation, my friends, is first off, there's like a Zen way of meditation. That's just like, basically trying to find stillness, looking at a blank wall, letting your mind just go blank, right? This often leads to daydreaming. Right? It often leads to essentially not a concentrated period of spiritual work. Okay. The second type of meditation would be like a mantra meditation, something repeating, maybe a binaural beat, and essentially letting that guide you into heightened states of consciousness and awareness. The third type of meditation is focus on the subtle breath control of essentially your perception and the subtle flow of energy through the channels of the body. By focusing deeply on the breath, by concentrating on the breath, right, our mind naturally falls into stillness, because what the breath does is it harmonizes the nervous system. And when we start becoming aware and focusing on the subtle flow of chi in the body and accessing and growing that awareness, our mind becomes one-pointed. We balance and harmonize the nervous system and the mind. The mind is intimately linked through the whole body, right? How we're holding our body influences how we're holding our mind, right? And this type of meditation, my friends, this breath control meditation is aspirational, okay? Meditation is not passive. Like, hear me here. Meditation is not passive. It is not a passive act. You hold yourself in perfect alignment. You practice the ideal image, meaning the ideal flow of energy, the ideal breath, the ideal mastery of one's mind and body. Meditation is aspirational. You're aspiring into that next image of self, per se, right? And so, for instance, I just had an experience last night of laying down at night on my back and thinking I'm meditating, but really I'm just daydreaming. And all of a sudden I catch my thoughts in all these different scattered areas. And I immediately just started breathing very deeply and very slowly and see if I could master the breath control. And I engaged my whole mind with it, right? Every time there's a chatter in my mind, I just brought it back to full engagement with the breath, okay? After a little while there, my heart rate slowed down, my mind settled, the body-mind harmonized. And from there, after I had that life force activated, I started becoming aware of the subtle energy flowing, right? As I breathe in, how it's cycling around me, how it's cycling through me, right? And this subtle awareness is something you can grow and develop. I encourage you to work with me in the new Breathwork intensive training program, where we're gonna help you access that subtle breath awareness. But becoming aware of, the links in the description for that, by the way. But what I'm saying is, by becoming aware of the most subtle sensations you can feel around your body, and becoming very aware, of what's at the edges of your perception, essentially you train your mind on something, right? And by training your mind there, this is the amazing part, is you start harmonizing the body and mind. After doing this kind of breath control, pranayama is breath control, right? Taoist alchemy, esoteric breathing is about breath control and the subtle breath awareness. Really, the foundation of most of these ancient yogic practices is about subtle breath awareness and life force control. Yet meditation today, spirituality today, chakras today, take all this stuff and abstract it. All of a sudden we're doing meditations, going to the stars, going to different galaxies, or we're learning about chakras as these emotional things or intuition. And how, my friends, it is about circulating chi through the system to attain higher states of frequency and consciousness in the body, going from a 5-watt light bulb to a 50,000-watt light bulb. That's what we're trying to do. Through this type of meditation, you will charge the body and basically bring your mind and body under your command. This is sovereignty. After doing that breath control, work for a while, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, right? You're in a space of creation from there. Your mind and body are harmonized. You have charged up chi and life force, which is potential energy, which you can direct as a magician, right? But furthermore, in that space, this is where we can go into different types of subtypes of meditation per se, whether it's contemplation, whether that's, basically stillness. You can enter into stillness very easily after doing breath control meditation. Stillness and silence, you can access that space, devotion to God realization, right? And essentially, those types of meditations, you're going to concentrate the life force into certain centers of the body, okay? The main point I'm trying to get across here, my friends, is meditation begins at the breath. And the breath and meditation and subtle breath control, basically life force control, is really the meditation envisioned by the ancient rishis, the ancient yogis, the ancient masters, the Taoist masters, whatever tradition you're following, my friends. That's where it's at. And ultimately, my friends, the breath and this type of aspirational meditation is so important to me, because we can't really apply the inner keys, the inner alchemy, the inner work, unless we have mastery of our own mind and body, right? We can't really apply the keys to manifestation, magic, the secrets of frequency and vibration, if we can't master our frequency and vibration in any situation, in any moment, right? So, oftentimes, my friends, we're trying to battle the mind with the mind. Stop trying to fix the mind with the mind. Go to the breath and will. Will yourself into that aspirational ideal image, right? Of that perfect alignment in the body, right? Breathing into that perfect state of being, that perfect countenance, right? Breathing into the perfect flow of energy, opening your perception to it, and really concentrating your whole being there, right? This will create the space for you to do the magic. We can't access magic unless we have subtle control of the mind, where we start to reveal the occult properties of our own being. We are so magical, my friends, but we are unaware of it if we're locked in base states of consciousness. Do the breath work to harmonize your energy and rise the energy up into higher states of consciousness, where real meditation, real insight, real spiritual work can take place. It takes place through the breath, through the subtle breath and life force control. This is why all my videos recently have been about this, because I find it to be so powerful. How can we work towards sovereignty in the external world if we don't have sovereignty in our inner kingdom, right? How can we apply the keys to, you know, like conscious entrepreneurship and creativity and creation, right? If we can't bring ourselves into the space, the frequency of higher creation, right? How can we apply the keys to manifestation if we can't master ourselves and use our mind as a clear slate to create into this reality? The breath is the foundation for all, my friends. If this is resonating and impacting you deeply, I encourage you to apply, to talk to me one-on-one. You can apply for the new Breathwork, Energy Work intensive training program, which is 6 to 7 weeks and really brings you in depth in the practices to really realize this awareness and give you the tools to step into your sovereignty. Thanks for being here, my friends. Hit that like button. Share this video with a friend or someone you think it will impact. I really appreciate all the comments below. I always read them. They're always, you know, inspiring to me, insightful, and they fill me with joy. So thanks for being here, my friends. Thanks for participating. I'll see you at the next video. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.